I'm just going to focus on the Shiism in Iran's foreign policy. I'm going to focus on the Shiism in Iran's foreign policy, which is very important because the Iranian government using the Shiism as a soft power to expand in the region. So before discussing this issue, I just briefly talk about the Shiism or Shia in Iran. The Shia in Iran, or the Shia historically, have two kinds of Shiism. One of them is Ahwari, one of them Usuli. Before the emerge of Safawi Empire in 1501, the vast majority of Shia were Ahbari. So the Ahbari, as you see here, recognize only the Quran and the reports or akhbar of the Prophet Muhammad and Imams. While the Usuli, in Usuli's fiqh or Usuli doctrine, an important tenet of Usuli doctrine is imitation or taqlid. As a result, Ahwari reject ijtihad. There is no ijtihad in Ahwari. And they were strong in past. But today, you got just very small minority, very few places, such as Bahrain. Usuli accept jihad. The core aspect of the Usuli is ijtihad, and prominently to do it today in Iran and elsewhere. As you see in this graph, Shia, Ahwari, Usuli, and you got other sects of Shiism. Shiism in Iran, the religious political system of Shiism was emerged in Iran by Shah Ismail I, who founded the Safawi Empire in 1501. The Safawi rulers were the first to link their governing idea to their authority, to modify Shia Islamic philosophy that accommodated monarchical government or type of monarchy. The Safawi rulers were credited with religious authority as perfect leaders and later the shadow of God. During the Safawi Empire, the Shiism or the Shia religion fully settled and became the dominant political, religious and social factor in Iran. Shiism has been Iranian identity and has been a source of political legitimacy since the 16th century, an emergence of Safawi. When Shah Ismail seized power in Iran, the majority of the people under his rule were Sunni. So the majority of the Iranians were Sunni at that time. But the Shiism and Shia identity in Iran was established under the rule of Safawi and with the help from Shia clergy from Jabal Amal in Lebanon, who were invited to Iran in order to teach and spread the Shia ideology. Shiism and mass mobilization. The most important political mobilization in Iran history launched and led by prominent Shia leaders, such as the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi, the leader of tobacco movement, Ayatollah Naini, the first theologians of 1906 Iran's constitutional revolution, Ayatollah Kashani, who was the chairman of the parliament and leader of the Iran's oil nationalization, along with the national prime minister Mohammad Mossadegh. Sheikh Fazlullah Nouri, the prominent Shia cleric and the founder of political Islam, and Ayatollah Khomeini, who led the 1979 Islamic Revolution. Revolution, 1979's revolution against the monarchy. After the fall of Shah in 1979, the Shia clerics seized power and established a new religious political system based on Khomeini's doctrine of Walayat al-Faqih. And he became the founder and supreme leader or Wali al-Faqih. Khomeini's doctrine of Walayat al-Faqih, which he highlighted in his book Islamic Government, is a Shia version of political Islam that aimed to lead the Shia and Muslims in the world. Khomeini's project, Export of Revolution, transformed Iran's foreign policy toward the revival of Shiism as a vital engine for Iran's expansion in the region. The Iranian constitution emphasized the rule of Wali al-Faqih and his position in the Muslim society as a spiritual and political leader during the absence of Imam al-Mahdi. Article 110 of the Iranian constitution listed the duty of the supreme leader who's in charge of almost everything. And his authority is not limited within the border of Iran, but to all Muslims in his capacity as the guardian of Muslims. Khomeini's era. Khomeini era began with the hostage crisis, in which 52 diplomats and citizens, American diplomats and citizens, were held hostage for 444 days in November 1979. And then the war began between the Iraq and Iran in 1980, which lasted 8 years. And the new regime war against all ethnic groups, parties, and factions who had significant impact in the fall of Shah, including non-Persian ethnic groups such as Ahwazi Arabs, Kurds, Baluchi, as well as the seculars, liberal, and leftist groups. In order to maintain power and dominate the political system, the new regime in Iran established 4 major bodies in 1979 that were crucial in achieving their goals. The first one was the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, IGGS, and the Revolutionary Court and its Post Foundation, and the Guardian Council. When it comes to the soft power, in the international relations, the use of countries' cultural and or economic influence to pursue other countries to do something rather than the use of hard power, known as a soft power. In the case of Iran, Shiism used as a soft power by the mullahs. Iran's soft power. After the 1979 revolution, the Iranian new regime began to establish a charitable institution known as bunyad, or foundations. For instance, Bunyad al-Shahid, Bunyad al-Mustazafan, Astan al-Qusra-Zabi, Bunyad al-Panzili al-Khordad, and Shahzaman Tablighat Islam. One of the Iranian tools in the soft power is the housing. And in order to train non-Iranian, non-Persian clerics, they established a university called Al-Mustafa International University. Al-Mustafa International University is a Shia and academic institution which was established in 2008 in the Iranian city of Qom by integrating institutionalization of education of non-Iranian students, ICIS, and the organization for overseas seminars and schools, OOSS. International University is a part of religious Shia establishment in Iran, which is owned and run by Ayatollah Khamenei, and specialized in educating only non-Persian clerics. In 2016, Al-Mustafa University is receiving funds directly from the government. For instance, in 2016, it received 49 million pounds of funds from the government. More than 50,000 of male and female students from 122 different countries have been studied in the Al-Mustafa University, and more than 25,000 of whom graduated from this university. Al-Mustafa University has 2,500 academic staff, more than 150 academic programs, and only in 8 years has launched 400 websites and blogs, 300 newspapers and magazines in 40 different languages, as well as the students' TVs and radio channels. Al-Mustafa's main campus is located in the city of Qom in Iran, and has more than 170 campuses around Iran, as well as more than 60 countries around the world, especially here in the UK. Al-Mustafa University provides different facilities and services for the student and their families, such as issue a student visa, a student's loan and grant, free student accommodation, free health service, gym, free education for the family and kids, free family tours, low interest loan, vocational training for the students and kids, and so on. Persian nationalism and Shiism. The Shah of Iran, Muhammad Reza, prized the Persian identity and boosted the national sentiment among the Iranian, and made himself the successor of Persian Empire. As a result, nationalism represented by the Persian identity applied in Iran's foreign policy. At the same time, the Shah had close ties with some Shia clerics in Najaf and Qom, who supported Shah's policies in return for financial support. But with Persian nationalism failed to form a robust regional strategic alliances, but managed to expand rapidly after the Islamic Revolution with adopting Shiism in the foreign policy, despite the fact that the Persian nationalism remained as the hidden core factor in Iran's foreign policy behavior.
I think there are so many important things to cover, but would you please
quick?
Yeah, summarize conclude what you...
Iran post-revolution foreign policy. Iran post-revolution foreign policy emerged with the revolution discourse of Khomeini and his followers. The slogan that rose during the revolution after the downfall of Shah became principles of the new regime, such as export of the revolution, Islamic solidarity, neither East nor West, theory of imperialism and conspiracy, and great Satan referred to the US as well. So in his work, Iranian Constitution. The Iranian Constitution declared that emphasized in Article 3 and 52 the responsibilities and commitments of Iran's foreign policy toward all Muslims, and the strained support for the impoverished people of the world. Although this article put the all Muslims under umbrella of the Iranian foreign policy agenda, but in principle the activities of the Iranian foreign policy concentrated on particular areas such as Iraq, Lebanon, Yemen. The US-led invasion of Iraq in 2003. After the US-led invasion of Iraq in 2003, the balance of power in the region has been changed in favor of Iran. In December 2004, the King Abdullah II of Jordan warned the world of the imminent emergence of Shia Crescent, which extend from Iran through Iraq, Syria, and Hezbollah in Lebanon, and that would change the traditional balance of power in the region and create sectarian conflict. After the invasion of Iraq, Iran enhanced its regional influence by supporting and empowering the non-state actors who linked with the Iranian ideology. And this is some of the militias which supported by Iran, which located in Iraq, in Syria.
Can you go back one spot, just so take
Other one?
Yeah. Previous one. Yeah. Thank you.
A number of Iranian officials declared in 2015 that 3 Arab capitals, Beirut, Damascus, and Baghdad, have already fallen into Iran's hands and belong to the Iranian Islamic Revolution. They suggested Sana'a, the capital of Yemen, is the 4th capital. And here you can see that after launching a missile from Yemen by the Houthis to Riyadh, Iranian newspaper Kehan covered Houthis' missile attack against Riyadh airport and says Dubai is next. There are a number of events, there are a number of events and reasons that enhance the Shiism in Iran's foreign policy. The Shiism and the Shia ideology is the only factor that Iran can use to gain influence in the countries with Shia population. Emergence of Shia Islamic regime in Iran under the rule of Shia clerics paved the way for creation of political Shiism, which was used as a soft power in Iranian foreign policy. Shiism in Iran foreign policy reinforced rapidly after the fall of 2 Sunni enemies of Iran in the region, Taliban of Afghanistan in 2001 and the Ba'ath parties of Iraq in 2003 by the US-led invention. Historical Shia cleric ambition to dominate the Muslim world in absence of Sunni political state in the region and to become the military and economic power in the Middle East by creating ideological alliances with Shia-dominant countries and use its influence in the region to deal with the Western country. The outcomes of Iran's Shiism foreign policy: civil war in Iraq, Syria, and Yemen, triggered the sectarian conflicts between the Sunni and Shia, emergence of terrorist organizations such as ISIL in Iraq, Syria, and Afghanistan, and instability in the entire region, mass displaced, outflow of largest number of refugees since the Second World War to EU and elsewhere, and the destruction of infrastructure of cities and towns in Iraq, Syria, and Yemen, and the spread of poverty and deprivation as a result of Iran's proxy wars in the region. Thank you very much.
I asked to know the